Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for checking back in. I'm tired. For those of you who are new, my name is Dave with Everything in Between. Today we're going to install the EarthquakeXT. This is the EQ50XT. This is an air hose reel. Supposedly it is virtually indestructible. So this thing currently was $180. I used a 25% coupon and I got it for $135. So that's a little bit more relief. I feel a little bit better at that price point with that virtually indestructible thing on the box here. So anyway, I also got this here, which is kind of like a leader hose. This says 8 to 15 feet. I just saw the 15 footer. And then I'm like, this doesn't look like 15 feet. So if that's the case, I'm definitely gonna need to go get another one of these. So let's go ahead and open this up and get busy. More styrofoam for the wife. She breaks this up and puts this in her planters to take up space so that there's not so much soil. So she's gonna love more styrofoam. Comes with a booklet. Oh shit, that was just styrofoam. I thought it was a bug. Manual, not sure what it says. It looks like it's only a few pages. Here it is. Here's this side. They didn't even put the sticker on there, right? You see that? That. So it looks like you can adjust this. There's two settings right here. There's some Teflon, I guess, nuts, but there's also 4 more holes here. It looks like you can take those nuts off and you can adjust this, you know, move it this way or that way, but it actually is flush with the bottom here and the top here. And that's what we want, because we're not going to put it on the wall. We're going to put it on the ceiling, so it's going to look like that. Be careful. The sucker's heavy. I don't know how heavy it is, but that's got some weight to it. So if you're doing this by yourself, be careful. I'm going to attempt to do it myself, and make sure the brace that you put on your ceiling is strong enough. Luckily, I have exactly 8 of these lag screws. They all have a washer, but I'm also I have some L brackets that when I screw these into the 2x4 into the brace, I am going to put an L bracket at the bottom just for added security, because you can never have too many safety measures. There is a slotted end so that you can put the lag screws in there, 2 of them, and you can slide it on, and then you can do the second half there. All right, so let's get set up and get this up there. All right, so the first thing you want to do is measure your base here, and you're going to want to make a template 6" by 6". So you can take a piece of cardboard like this. Even the box that it came in, you can take from one of the flaps. Right, you can cut this flap off right here, and that is definitely more than 6 by 6. And you can use the brown side. I'm going to use this box here. Okay. All right, and then you can get you a marker, and we'll mark the circles. That's all I did. Put this to your brace, and then you'll just drill the holes into the brace, and then remove the template, and then get 2 for this side, the side that slides on, and then you can get these started and get them all the way about 90% in. Okay, that will prepare you to get the slots, pick it up and slide it in there, and then have your ratchet, and you can ratchet it tight, and then you can put the other ones in there. These other ones right here. They're clear. They do not run into the reel itself. They actually have space for you to run these into there. But we're not going to use these. I think these are too small for this. As you can see how much space there is in there. This is just for the bracing in the ceiling. We're going to do 4 for each bracing, so there's 8 of these total. So let's get started with that. Alright, so since that reel does not swivel, it's stationary, I'm going to see if I can put it inset a little bit, so it's a little bit higher. That way it's not hanging so low to the ground, because that's probably about 16 inches low or 16 inches tall. So I'm going to measure the height from the bottom of this 2x10 or 2x12 to the bottom of this 2x4, and I'm going to make sure that's the same on all 4 corners. Alright, so that's 3.5. I think I can go 4. Alright, that's 4 inches there. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And that's 4 inches there. 4 inches, 4 inches. I'm going to do the other one just like that, and I'm going to make sure I get my template right in the center of that 2x4, and I'm going to make this 2x4 come all the way over here and center it like that. Since the holes that you're going to be drilling into, you want them in the center of the 2x4, so what you want to do is you want to measure the template from the center hole to probably the center or maybe further in to the template. You want to measure that, and this is about 5 inches. So I'm going to measure from the center of the 2x4 up here, and I'm going to measure 5 inches. And if you have a marker, I can come 5 inches and mark it there, and come 5 inches and mark it there. That way I don't have to be hitting and then measuring, hitting and measuring, hitting and measuring. I can just go onto this point, get the wood there, and then measure, and I most likely won't have to move it again. I'm going to put one right here, and then put the wood and let it sit on top. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. But let me go ahead and drill this L bracket in there. Okay, make sure I get my measuring tape, and that's sitting at 4 inches. And that's just so it can give it a little support and not be wobbling around while I'm putting the lag screws on the side. I'm gonna do the same thing to this one on this side. 4 inches. All right, so now we can get our 2x4. That's gonna sit nice right on top of there. Just gotta make sure my lag screws don't meet up with the one going up across on the top. Let me double check my template, and it's perfect. I'm going to take the unit, pick it up. I'm going to drill the holes about 90% in on the slotted side, about 95% in, just enough to where I can get the reel, the base of the reel, into those screws, and boom, slide it in there. Make sure I have my ratchet on hand and ratchet them down and tighten those 2 down. Once those are tightened down, then I can go ahead and screw in these lag screws on this side. Remember, always pre-drill. It's a lot easier. Won't split the wood, and it'll be a lot easier going into the wood. You won't have to fight it. After you get your L brackets in, if you need them, you may or may not. You need to find out where this 2x4 is on this side of the wood. There's several different ways you can do it. So all I did was get my square. I just drew a line down, went on this side, drew a line down, and then I went just like that, drew a line across, drew a line across. As you can see what I'm doing here, I'm just creating a line, and then I'm going to go on this side and do it like that, and do a line on the other side. You do however you want to do it to try and estimate, okay? There's two lines I just transferred from this side. And then all I did was measure up 4 inches. And so since the bottom of this 2x4 is 4 inches from the bottom of this one, I went ahead and went up 4 inches. I made a line, 4 inches here. That lets me know that this is dead space, okay? And then from here, up here, I measured 3.5 because that's the width of a 2x4 is 1.5 by 3.5, the actual measurements. So from here, I measured 3.5 up. From this line right here, I measured 3.5 inches up, and I put a line. So this lets me know that right here in this area is the actual 2x4. So I can make my holes anywhere in this area, and I should be able to hit 2x4. Alright, so for this lag screw, I measured, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a 1/4 inch by 2.5 inch long. So I'm using a 5/32 drill bit. You never want to go thicker than the shaft of the screw, because you want those teeth to grab onto that wood. That definitely went all the way through into the 2x4. And that went into the 2x4. So I was pretty good on my measurements, and they went in. I'll go ahead and drill my lag screws. I got my bit there. Oh gosh. I'm tired, man. Alright, just go all the way like 98% and then probably do the rest with a ratchet. Got those in. Let me do the rest. Okay, so let's see if I'm gonna make a blooper out of this, right? About a month and a half ago, I was about 260 pounds. I have lost about 14 pounds by then, so I think I'm at 246 now. You think it's gonna hold 246 pounds? I'm scared. All right, here we go. Ready? There it is. Whew. They have rounded edges that hold on a little longer. All right. I think I can hold. Holds 246 pounds, easy. There's no flex in them or anything like that. So I'm still gonna put two L brackets on this one, just for the added security. I mean, who knows, it may not need it, but it's holding. So let's go find 2 more L brackets, secure this brace a little bit more, and let's put this sucker on. All right, so I was only able to get 3/8 inch with a 3/8 inch washer. They did not have any more 1/2 inch lag screws. So this is just the next size down, which is gonna be, should be plenty enough. This is about, I think it's 35 to 45 pounds, somewhere in that range. So this should definitely hold. So let's go ahead and use these. All right, so what I'm gonna use is a 1/4 inch drill bit. So all I'm gonna do is drill holes into the template, and then we'll match it up to the top over there. I think the camera just shut off on me, but all right, there's my holes. Now I'm going to get my bit for the lag screw and put the lag screws in there. Unfortunately, I don't have a, actually I have my air gun. It's just 4 screws. Screw it. So I'm gonna go measure the thickness of the base of the reel. I think it's a 1/4 inch. And then I'm gonna bring these just a little bit larger than a 1/4 inch. That way I can just pick it up, slide it in, and just have a couple of turns of crank to secure it in there until I can get the other screws in. So let's go measure what that is. All right, so the thickness of the base is a 1/4 inch. Oh man, perfect, man. Yeah, that's 5/16. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's 5/16. I screwed them in exactly 5/16. So hopefully it's enough to squeeze that in there. Let's do it. Cross your fingers. We got 3 in there. At least I have that third one secure. That's not slotted in, so it's not going to come out no matter what. I could have gone higher. I think when I get more time, I'm going to put these braces all the way up to the top and have this go in a good 6 more inches up. Let me tighten this a little bit more. I don't want to jerk on this just yet. Alright, let's get this third bolt here. Let me show you guys. We need more people making videos, man, so you can help everybody else out. So it's saying use a 1/2 inch screw. I don't even think it mentioned the length, but that's 2.5 inches long, and it's just difficult to get a socket in here, so I'm going to try and do it by hand, just slowly but surely. I should have gotten the ratcheting wrench. That's how that looks so far. Okay, there we go. Let's get you closer. Golly, I wish I went all the way up. Like all this is hanging down. But we're not done yet. Anyway, that's how I did it, at least. 2x4s. And they're on there good. Got bolts holding each side. Got those bolts on that side. Alright, time to make some connections. Run the leader hose. I bought some of these hose clamps. All they had was 1/2 inch. So hopefully it should be good enough. Alright, so our first connection is going to be a reducer because we have 1/4 inch fittings. So this comes with a 3/8 inch inlet. We're going to take a reducer. We have Teflon tape on it, but it's a 3/8 to a 1/4 inch. So we're going to put that on the side and then we'll wrench that down. Alright, so this is going to have a, well, this one here is a 11/16. If it is tighter than that, if we have some leaks, I'll just get a crescent wrench on this one and I'll tighten it a little bit more. I think I'll do a nipple on this side, and then the leader hose I'm going to put a quick release. That way I can just quick release in and out if I need to. So let's go ahead and set that one up. Now you do have different types of nipples or plugs, I guess you can call them. Well, that's what they're called, plugs. I believe I call them nipples. But you do have a female type nipple and you have a male type nipple. So if all you had was this male, you would take this one out and you would put the 3/8 inch male to 1/4 inch female. You would put this one in here, and you would put the 3/8 inch inside there, and then you would put your nipple 1/4 inch like that. So we have a female nipple. Okay, so there we go. So we've gone from 3/8 to 1/4 inch fitting, and let's get our leader hose and let's put a quick disconnect on that thing. All right, so I just put some Teflon onto the to the end. The end was like this, 1/4 inch. I put a quick disconnect coupler. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and run this and get some wire clamps and clamp them down. I have 4 of them, so I'm going to do one here at the beginning, one in the corner, and then 2 going down. If I need more, I'll go get more. But I'll put links to all these in the description where I got them. But this is the clamps that I got. Alright, so this I believe is only 8 feet long. So we're going to have to hook another one up to it. There it goes. So I got 2 of these. It obviously isn't going to reach all the way, so I'm going to have to put another one. And I'm going to use a 1/4 inch coupler to put on one end and put on the other end so they can meet up and extend the hose. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put Teflon on the ends and then we'll tighten them together. Got Teflon on one end. This is the one that's extra. Got Teflon on the other end. 1/4 inch coupler. We're going to put one on one side. We're going to tighten it first on this one. Whichever one, doesn't matter. But I'm going to tighten it first. Just tighten them together. It's just a nice, good, tight fit. Alright. So now I'm just going to meet these 2 together. I'm just going to have to turn the hose. It's going to be whipping around. Okay. That should be tight enough. So now we have a extended leader hose with the coupler. So now we can finish running it. Alright, so we're going to put another hose clamp over in the corner. So let's get you over there facing that way. Alright, so we got our hose clamp. I got 3 screws. Always be prepared in case you drop one, you drop 2. Hopefully the 3rd time's a charm and you don't have to drop another one. So I'm going to leave those up here with me. I'm going to put the screw onto the bit. I'm going to measure out. Probably like right here. Pop that on. Get my screw. Oh shit. That thing went up in there. Okay. See, this is why you get the clamps with the rubber on there. That way you don't rip through that hose. Even the plastic ones, I think the plastic ones will give over time. But these metal with the rubber gasket in the center or on the inside is perfect for these type of hoses. I'm just going to give it a little bit of relief for now, just so I can make sure that this is up. I think in time, I don't know, we'll see how these hoses go, how they hold up. But you could also put a quick disconnect here where these 2 meet up. In case one hose goes bad, you don't have to spend all the time disconnecting this coupler here. You can just disconnect it and take that hose out, replace it, whatever, bring it back in, and just pop it back into the quick disconnect instead of having to spend all this time putting on this coupler again. So you could do that, but then you're more susceptible to air leaks, you know, if you don't have a good quick disconnect coupler. All right, let's do one more towards the bottom. We should be almost done. Just got to put a nipple or a plug at the end and hook it into the air compressor. All right, so we'll probably put this one, it's about 3 feet off the ground. So we'll do it right here. Okay, so now we have a little bit of leeway. Probably have about 3.5 feet maybe. So anyway, let's get a nipple on here or a plug and let's hook it into the air compressor. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna this is a 3/8 inch hose, the connector or the end point here, and I'm going to use a reducer from a 3/8 to a 1/4 inch male end, so that I can go from 3/8 to 1/4 inch fittings. So anyway, let me get my wrenches and tighten this up real quick. We're gonna put our plug, and we'll put that on the end so that we can attach a tool to it. All right, so I'm having to use my crescent wrenches. I got 2 of them. Putting one on I'm putting the small one on the small nut here. Okay, that should be good. All right, there is our nipple or our plug, and so I need to now put a plug on the end of the leader hose so that can snap into the compressor. So let's go ahead and put another female. You can use a female coupler, and I could have put, I don't know if it's going to reach. Oh yeah, it's going to reach. So this is the very end, the bottom that goes into the air compressor. I could put this coupler on here and then fit a male into here, but I just don't want too many connections. The more connections you have, the more likely you'll get air leaks. So use as less connections as possible. So I'm going to use, instead of a male, I'm going to use a female, and that way we just have 1 connection instead of 2 connections. Again, I'm using a socket, 11/16. It's a deep socket. Okay. There's our other end that's going to go into the compressor. All right, so let's do an overview. Here's the top, the braces up there. I used 3/8 inch lag screws with 3/8 inch washers to go into the brace. I used angle brackets just for extra security or extra support. I have bolts on the side. The inlet is 3/8, so I use a reducer to go to a 1/4 male nipple, and then I put a female plug, and then I attached a quick disconnect coupler onto the leader hose, and then I went ahead and ran that, put a hose clamp there, ran that down to the side, gave it a little slack, put another hose clamp there, connected the two. Again, you can use a quick disconnect here in case one of the hoses gives out later in the future, but I went ahead and used a female coupler to attach the two, and I ran all the way down. I put another hose clamp there, and so now we are at the bottom. So I'm going to put one here. All right, you guys, I made a big boo-boo. So as far as this connection right here, I don't know why I was thinking I needed a plug. This is, the tool actually has the plug on it. So if you see like my air, the little cheap air gun or the air tool here, they all the tools have the actual plug or the nipple on them. So this hose needs the quick release coupler. All right, so I just removed it, and you're still using the reducer here, and you're just removing the plug and putting in a quick release coupler. And let's connect this in. I don't know if you heard that hissing. It's just air filling in the line all the way into the hose reel. So I don't hear any leaks. It's actually been on and sitting like this for at least 5 minutes. So the tank hasn't turned on. If the tank turns on, it might have a slow leak. So you'll need to check with some maybe soap, water, or something like that. But there it is. Let me go all the way to the backyard, or out the back of the shop into the backyard. That's going to be at least 35 feet around there. Let's go check that out. Another great thing is that it has 4 rollers, so that you can go in any direction. You can go out this way, that way, and you don't need this to swivel. Alright, so that's it. I apologize for the long video. It's just the beginning to end. I know there's videos out there that just show you what you're doing, but there are people out there who don't need to know, and they have the knowledge and stuff like that to say, oh, I just need this, I just need that. But some people actually need to know what size tools you're using, what size fittings, this and that. And I try to provide as much information as possible, because I'm just trying to help, you know, people out. I have not seen videos of this actual brand being put on installing. At least I don't think I have. I've seen other brands go up, you know, but you may say air reel, hose reel is a hose reel. But anyway, that's my setup. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Just goes like that. Stays. Alright. It goes right back. Alright, so time to solve the issue of this hanging kind of low. You don't want to keep hitting your head on this this brass piece. So you can either move it up further into the rafters or in the 2x12s, or you can actually move this hose stop. Okay, it's kind of like a grommet with bolts and nuts on it, and you can move this up and down to however you want. So all I'm going to do is you're just going to measure it, how much you want to go up, and you put it down to that height or that length, and we will move this down to about right there. So before we screw it on, we'll test it out, and we'll say, okay, it's going to stop right about there. And so this is good enough height where I'm not going to be hitting my head. All right, so that is a good height, and all we're going to do is tighten it back up. Do it tight, just don't over tighten it, because these are usually plastic, and you don't want to break that plastic piece. This is like a hard rubber type piece, but still, It doesn't take much to tighten it enough. All right, and there we go. Problem solved. It's no longer hanging low, and I don't have to worry about hitting my head. Yeah, that's it. Screwdriver. It should be a Phillips. I haven't seen one that's a flathead, but you never know. They might come with flathead. So, but this one here came with a Phillips bolts. Yeah, so if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not like the video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Comment down below. You have questions, concerns, comments, leave them down below. I'll try, if I forgot a certain size or what I used, I will go through everything that I used, so that, you know, if you don't have a lot of tools or extra stuff in your garage or your shop, then you can just go to the store and buy those exact things and nothing more. I know it's useful for people to know those things. Yeah, subscribe if you can, ding the little bell for future uploads. Hope you're having a good day doing whatever it is you do. We'll talk to you on the next one. Until then, peace.